topic for today is about Sogie Bill. This is sexual orientation and gender identify expression. Equality Bill is also known as Anti-Discrimination Bill. It's a bill that was proposed by the Congress of the Philippines. Sogie Bill is also known as a gender equality o pagkakapantay-pantay natin bilang isang mamamayang Pilipino kahit anuman ang kasarian. SOGIE refers to sexual orientation, gender identify, and expression. It describes a wider spectrum of all people, not only LGBTQ community. Tinatawag din itong Anti-Discrimination Bill at ang panukalang batas na ito ay ipinilabas ng Philippine Congress. Para mabigyan ng anumang mga kilos sa diskriminasyong ito ay nauugnay sa pang-ekonomiya o pampublikong akomodasyon laban sa mamamayan batay sa bias ng kasarian. Next is, the earliest version of Sogie Equality Bill was filed in 2000 by the late Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago and former Akbayan Representative Loretta Rosales under 11th Congress. Refilled in 14th Congress, the bills reached the committee level only. More senators would file similar bills in 16th Congress to no avail. Sinasabi din na ang pinakamaagang bersyon ng panukalang batas sa pagkakapantay-pantay ng Sogie ay isinampa noong 2000. Nang yumaong senador na si Miriam Defensor Santiago at dating kinatawan na akbayan na si Loretta Rosales sa ilalim ng ika-11 ng Kongreso. Naitala sa ika-14 na Kongreso ang mga panukalang batas ay umabot lamang sa antas ng committee. Mas maraming mga senador ang maghahain ng mga katulad na panukalang batas na ika-16 na Kongreso upang hindi ito maisagawa.
Sogie Bill was first filed by the late Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago and former Akbayan Representative Loretta Rosales. Miriam Defensor Santiago is the first Filipino and the first Asian to be nominated as a judge in the International Criminal Court or the ICC. Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago is also named as one of the 100 most powerful women in the world in 1997 by The Australian. On the other hand, Loretta Rosales is an activist, professor, and a politician who served 3 terms as a party-list representative of Akbayan. Loretta Rosales was also the chairperson of the Commission on Human Rights from 2010 to 2015. Ginawa nila ang batas upang maprotektahan ang mga tao, mapalalaki man o bakla, babae o tomboy dahil lumalala na ang kaso ng diskriminasyon sa ating bansa.
Let's move on to Sogie Bill 2013. Trans woman Gretchen Custodio Diaz ay pinagbawalan by using preferred restroom in Cubao last August 13. Ayon dito ay isa itong discrimination at lahat ng LGBTQ+ ay nasaktan ukol dito. This is why how gender equality has fared in the country over the years. So they decided to enshrined in the 1987 Constitution and in several international covenants saka ang signatory nito such as ICESR and the ICCPR.
Sogie Bill is intended to protect LGBTQ community. In 2014, we can deny that there are still discrimination and it leads to the death of Jennifer Laude on October 11. It is inevitable, but with the sign of Sogie Bill on November 28 in Quezon City, we can give a proper procedure or actions on how to punish those who assaulted and discriminated the LGBTQ community. As an example, this Sogie Bill protected Gretchen Diaz from illegal detainment also in Quezon City. Now that the bill is signed, we can expect less issues about harming the LGBTQ community here on our country.
In 2016, senatorial candidate Manny Pacquiao against same-sex marriage. It is the time to pass the anti-discrimination bill on the basis of sexual orientation and gender identity. Geraldine Roman is a Filipino journalist and politician serving as a representative of Bataan 1st District. She is the first transgender person elected to the Congress of the Philippines.
Way back 2014, natagpo ang patay ang transgender woman na si Jennifer Laude sa loob ng banyo. Ang suspect sa pagpatay ay ang US Marine na si Joseph Scott Pemberton. Base sa investigasyon, nakilala ni Laude at ng kaibigan niya si Barbie, si Pemberton at ang tatlong kasama nito sa isang bar sa Olongapo City. Nung gabing iyon, sabay na lumabas si Barbie at Pemberton sa naturang bar at naglakad papunta sa pinakamalapit na lodge at nag-check-in. Hindi rin nagtagal ay umalis na si Barbie kaya't naiwan ang suspect at ang biktima. Wala pang isang oras ay lumabas na si Pemberton. Nang i-check ng isang staff ang silid, nakita nito na patay na si Laude. Inimplementahan ng dating mayor na si Herbert Bautista ang Gender Fair Ordinance sa Quezon City noong November 28. Idineklara ito ng lokal na pamahalaan upang maprotektahan ang mga LGBT laban sa diskriminasyon kagaya na lamang ng nangyari kay Gretchen Diaz na siyang inaresto sa isang office sa mall nang dahil lamang sa pinagbawalan siyang gumamit ng CR na para sa babae. Ang mall na pinangyarihan ng insidente ay lumabag sa Gender Fair Ordinance. Taong 2016, panahon ng eleksyon, pinagpiestahan ng mga netizens si Manny Pacquiao sa social media nang dahil sa sinabi nito sa isang interview tungkol sa same-sex marriage. Paniniwala nito, ang lalaki ay para lamang sa babae at ang babae ay para lamang sa lalaki. Nang dahil sa ginawa ni Manny Pacquiao, umani ito ng maraming reaksyon at ang mga celebrity ay nagkaroon ng dahilan kung bakit hindi siya ang dapat na iboto. Ang kauna-unahang transgender woman na iniluklok sa House of Representatives na si Geraldine Roman ay pinaprioritize ang karapatan ng mga LGBT at siya rin ay isa sa mga pumoprotekta sa mga ito. Isinulong ni Risa Hontiveros ang first Senate version ng anti-bill discrimination noong August 11 na naglalayon na protektahan ang mga LGBT kagaya na lamang ng mga transgender na hindi mabigyan ng pagkakataon na ipakita ang totoo nilang pagkatao. Ginawa niya ito para sa mga LGBT na naghahanap ng pagmamahal, pag-unawa, at pagtanggap sa kung anuman ang kasarian. At ginawa niya rin ito lalong-lalo na para sa pagkakapantay-pantay.
From 2017, the House of Representatives under Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez prioritizes the bill on civil unions in the 17th Congress. This bill, recognizing the constitutional right of all Filipinos to equal protection of laws and to freely associate with others, hereby proposes to allow couples to enter into a civil partnership whether they are opposite of or not the same sex. It aims to be a landmark effort to provide civil rights, benefits, and responsibilities to couples previously unable to marry, by giving them due recognition and protection from the state. Lastly, it protects civil partnership couples by penalizing unlawful and discriminatory practices committed by persons or institutions against them on the basis of their civil partnership status. After 17 years since it was first filed, the anti-discrimination bill is passed by the House on final reading with a vote of 197-0. To pass the Sogie Equality Act in the lower house on its third and final reading, under the bill, the following discriminatory acts can be fined of not less than 100,000 but more than $500,000 pesos, or imprisonment of not less than 1 year but more than 6 years, or both depending on court's decision. Civil partnerships are available to both sex couples and opposite sex couples. Registering a civil partnership will give you relationship legal recognition. They will give you other legal rights as well as responsibilities. In a historic move, the Supreme Court tackled same-sex marriage in oral arguments. In an interpellation of Solicitor General Jose Calida, Supreme Court Acting Chief Justice Antonio Carpio asserts that same-sex civil unions are constitutional based on the right to association. The same freedom is cited in the same-sex civil union bill sponsored by House Speaker Alvarez. Marriage, however, remains defined by the family code as between a man and a woman. From 2018 Sogie Bill, marriage equality is typically fought in Congress, and for years, the Philippine lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or LGBT movement has lobbied for the enactment of anti-discrimination law and not a law on same-sex marriage. The strategy was apparently to wage one battle at a time. Once the proposed anti-discrimination law is passed, then same-sex marriage would follow. Yet here we are now. In a historic first, the Supreme Court will tackle same-sex marriage in oral arguments, because one young, dusty gay lawyer thought this was better fought in court, not in Congress. President Duterte himself supports same-sex civil unions. Even presidential spokesperson Harry Roque says, while the president is against same-sex marriage, he is in favor of civil unions. There are 5 senators, who include Hontiveros, Lauren Legarda, Ralph Recto, Franklin Drillion, and Juan Miguel Zubiri, express support for the Sogie Bill. Opposing senators, who include Manny Pacquiao, Joel Villanueva, and Senate President Vicente Soto III. The CHR backs the passage of the Sogie Bill through a position paper. Among them who opposed the Sogie Bill, Senator Manny Pacquiao received a lot or more criticism from people because he believes that men and women should wear clothes according to their gender, and Bible does not allow crossbreeding. He even called gay people are worse than animal. That's why a lot of people, not even from LGBT, don't support him, as well as others.
Hey everyone, I am delighted to be here today to talk you about our chosen topic, which is Sogie Bill. So, alam ko na most of you all have already an idea or probably know this before about Sogie Bill. So, in this video, we are tackling about what is the importance of Sogie Bill. So, basically, Sogie stands for sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression. So, ano nga ba yung sexual orientation? Ito yung way kung sino yung nagugustuhan mo. For example, ako, nagkakagusto ako sa opposite sex ko, which is boy. Pumapasok dito yung attraction. While yung gender identity naman is technically kasi people only understand what is sex. So, if a person born, usually they call it as male and female. Ina-identify nila yan through their sexual organ. Pero may isang concept na nag-identify ng isang identity ng tao. For example, ikaw ba ay man? Ikaw ba ay woman? So, gender identity is you can be born male, but identify yourself as a female. And that would make you transgender woman. And you can be born female, but identify yourself as male. And that will make you transgender man. Hindi naman necessarily mean na if sinabihan ka ng transgender woman or transgender man is you'd have to go under surgery. Kasi may health risk in transitioning and hindi is privileged enough to take that surgery. So the last one is expression. Kung paano mo na-express yung sarili mo. Ikaw ba ay femme? Ikaw ba ay masculine? Ikaw ba ay lalaki na mahilig sa makeup? Ikaw ba ay babae na mahilig sa manly stuff? Ganon. So, depende sa'yo kung paano may express yung sarili mo or paano mo dadalahin yung sarili mo. I feel a lot of people or mostly Filipino is hesitant or against about Sogie Bill kasi they not completely understand what Sogie Bill means. So, a lot of people having this misconception na yung Sogie Bill is only for LGBTQIA+ lang. So, to a straight people like me, I have my own Sogie as well. So my sexual orientation is I'm straight. My gender identity is I am a woman. And my gender expression is I am feminine. So even straight people is kasali siya sa Sogie Bill. Sogie Bill is for everyone, not only for LGBTQIA+. The question is, who is affected by this? So mostly mas apektado siya sa LGBTQIA+ community since they are fighting for their right since 1960. And as you all remember, way back August 13, 2019, sa Quezon City Mall, may isang transgender woman named Gretchen Diaz na binlock siya ng isang janitress from using woman's restroom. She should use men's restroom since lalaki pa rin naman daw siya, nagdadamit lang siya ng pambabae. So from that viral video, mas trigger yung LGBTQIA+ na mas ipatupad yung Sogie Bill sa Pilipinas. So the Senate Bill Act number 1934 was approved early 2020. So Sogie Bill aims to protect everyone on gender base like discrimination, harassment from work, public and private places. Sogie Equality Bill is for everyone. No one's deserve to be discriminated based on their gender identity. Besides, kahit naman straight ka, may gender ka pa rin. So, you should fight for your rights.
Hi, I'm Bea, and I'm straight. Straight, gay, bisexual, transgender, babae, lalaki, bakla, tomboy. I know it's a mouthful. Gender for a lot of people is often confusing and complicated. So in this video, we hope to give you a better understanding of sexual orientation, gender expression, and gender identity. Together with this concept are called Sogie. Senator Risa Hontiveros pushed again for the passage of a bill that seeks to ban the discrimination based on an individual's sexual orientation and gender identity or expression. The new measure called Sogie-based Anti-Discrimination Bill is now includes prohibiting marginalization and violence based on sex characterization. In her sponsorship speech, Hontiveros stressed that the measure aims to protect everyone from discrimination, not just the LGBTQ+ community. Each one of us has a sexual orientation and gender identity or expression. What we are trying to say is, whether you are straight, man, woman, gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgender, we all have a contribution to society. We are all equal.